No. Because once you've learned you could talk to her, and after you kill the sister, and just because you have her soul, she's like, "Oh, you're my sister," and it's like, "Ugh! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry."
And welcome back, guys, to another episode of Just Three Geeks Opinion. I am Kyle, and I'm here again with co-host Nick and John. What's up, guys?
Howdy ho.
Hello, everybody.
All right, so tonight we were going to talk about something that we're all very excited. We kind of went through on our last one, kind of all the stuff that makes us geeky and stuff like that. We kind of left one out, and that was gaming. But we're going to talk a bit about gaming stuff tonight, and one of our biggest games, anticipated games coming out, Elden Ring. What do you guys think? Elden Ring.
Elder Ring. Okay.
Elder Ring.
Terrible.
Ender Rings. What did I say? The last one for Ender Lilies? Elder Lilies.
Elder Lilies.
Elder Lilies. Yeah. Elden Ring, my guys. Can't wait for this game. This game is going to be amazing.
See, giving it too much credit already.
I'm giving it too much credit. It's going to be amazing.
I don't know. I'm
set
hopeful.
Set the bar as low as possible, and that way the height is even better. That's how you have to look at it.
Usually that's the case. I've heard good things though from the network test they did or whatever, where a lot of people was like, "Yes, this brief period of time they got to play it out," and I don't know how much of an area they got to go or whatever, but it felt good.
I'll give you. I know these guys have been kind of keeping a little bit away from it. I only know just the technical kind of stuff. I did watch somebody play the technical test. Now somebody did come in and they expected that the test was only about, I think, 13% of the map.
How long did they play for, these people?
A decent amount of hours.
Holy fuck.
See, and that concept that you just said right there, the fact that it's something we haven't had before, because I believe we're going to do a discussion on the prior entries into the Souls series. However, yes. The concept of a Souls game that is open world is the part that I believe I am the most excited about. The merging of those two things, super, super looking forward to.
The exploration is definitely one of the key things in this new game that I think is going to be amazing. And the customization as well. Like I'm liking about all the I think they're called like the sword arts and things like that you can add on, the weapon arts that you could add on to your stuff and things like that. And that you can just find it out in the random, like you can just find a boss or something and then you just find these things. I think it's going to be amazing.
Agreed. Very much looking forward to it.
Everything else, I think I've mentioned it before that it's not even Elden Ring that I think like it's going to be a great game and everything like that, but just what they're doing with this game has me hope about like what they do with their next game. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be, if they could do this, then like what more possibilities are we going to get?
That's going too far out for me.
Too far out?
We haven't even gotten this fucking game
I'm just
yet.
saying.
Yeah, you got to let this one come first.
I don't know. I'm not just saying anything, but I think just the possibilities. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be good.
Because I was very I'll give my example of it without going too far into it yet. I was very hyped for Dark Souls 2. I played it for 2 hours and I didn't touch that shit for years.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, it's been a while. Well, gaming wise, we are all Souls fans here. John, I think, is actually the biggest fan out of all of us. I think you've played mostly all of them. I think at least out of the From Software games, I haven't touched Sekiro yet.
Isn't that a FromSoft game?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's what I thought. Hell, John bought Demon Souls when it was a fucking import at Otakon. I
You
remember that game.
did, yeah.
Yes, I did.
You did.
It was the Chinese version of Demon Souls. Had full English translation. All you had to do is stick it in a what region 1, I think, is the American one. You had to stick it
Yeah.
in a region
The
1
regions, yeah.
PS3, and everything was in English. It was fully ready to go. And I remember informing. I was friends with the manager of my local GameStop, and I remember talking to him about games that were up and coming. And I played Demon Souls and came in a little while later. It was actually, pardon me, let me correct that. It's when it was released, I bought the collector's edition, which I still have, with all the art book, the soundtrack, all that fun
The
stuff.
little mini guide that it would give you to help you
Yep.
along the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I have that too.
Which didn't help you at all.
Yeah.
Just FYI. But the Demon Souls came out in English, and I sold my Chinese version on eBay, which I should, in hindsight, I should have kept, because if it's anything like the collector's edition now, it's actually worth a decent chunk. I was telling him about how good it was. He bought it, tried playing it, and absolutely hated it. Then didn't buy Dark Souls because he thought it would be as bad.
My funniest thing with that story is that when you got that, and then it got announced that it was coming out here, and you got the collector's edition, everything like that, and then we popped it in, and I don't know why we have this thing associated with trophies, but you had to start your trophies over again.
Yes, I did.
And you got rid of your copy, and then you're like, I can never finish the trophies for this game.
Yeah, it is stuck forever on my PlayStation profile that I have 2 copies of Demon Souls with 2 trophy sets, and that one is now sitting out there forever to never be fulfilled.
So every once in a while, I'll tease these guys. I think, what did I do? Oh, I did that with you for Bloodborne, Nick. when you were like, you're gonna go, I'm like, well, since it's a different game, you're gonna get 2 sets of trophies.
Yep.
Did it actually do that? It didn't, did it?
No.
Okay, good.
No. But I made him go look, and he looked it up.
I was nervous. But no,
but that was
lucky.
That was my funny story. I thought that was pretty good. That's when we discovered that kind of thing. And again, why would trophies matter? But apparently they do.
They do.
Well, with this game, they do. Because for whatever reason, I played Demon Souls a little. I don't even think I beat the first. Actually, I think I did beat the first boss. Parallax?
Phalanx.
Phalanx, there we go, which makes sense for why it's called that. But I really didn't play much further than that. I never finished Demon Souls. I think I got it after Dark Souls. And Dark Souls, I just loved in pretty much every game since Dark Souls I've platinumed. Except for Dark Souls 3, because it's not on a trophy system. I don't know why. Good achievements still on Steam, but I have no desire to get all of them.
Dark Souls is the only game that I think I have platinumed on there yet.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's my only one that I have on there. No other game. I don't care about it as much as you guys do.
I don't know why I've cared about it.
I really only have ever cared about it. Well, I don't
want to hear anything.
Early on, I trophy hunted in a lot of games.
I was going to say,
game I got, I tried to platinum, and then I realized that was a moot point.
I was just sad. I didn't want to hear anything from you, Mr. Fucking Whiteboard.
Yep. I really came over, and you had a whiteboard of shit with all these games out of trophies, and I was like, "Whoa!" It wasn't even a little whiteboard. That was a fucking chalkboard whiteboard.
Yeah. And then at that point, I was like, "Nah, this is taking up too much time." However, for From Software games, I have not platinumed or gotten all the trophies for, since I have it on Steam. For Sekiro, I just never have gotten around to it.
It's on Steam.
But I have a segue on that if we need to into another point of discussion in the what makes a Souls game. But we might move into that a little later. I think we're still getting Nick's history on these a little bit.
Oh well,
I've played. This is one of the few game franchises that, for me, to call back to what Kyle said earlier, this is a must get as soon as it comes out and play. As in, take vacation from work to play these games for me.
I don't know. After the first one, I felt that way. I really fell in love. When I say first one, I just call Dark Souls. I think Dark Souls was a huge leap and bound feeling over Demon Souls.
Demon Souls definitely to me playing Demon Souls. I haven't finished Demon Souls. I've played it,
Neither have I.
but I haven't finished it. Demon Souls in the essence does seem more, I don't know,
Primitive.
clunky. Yeah, in a sense, it's not actually a clunky game, but compared to Dark Souls, I think Dark Souls feels more refined. I guess.
I've heard good
Oh,
things about the
I can
remake
agree.
or the PS5 one. Apparently, that is really good. People have really praised it, which I assume after all the current ones we have, that's pretty good praise that they did a good job with the remake. But I felt like Dark Souls one, and I will still say it over. I've officially played all of them except Demon Souls. Almost done Bloodborne. I have a few bosses left apparently. Dark Souls one, in my opinion, it could be nostalgia glasses, but I consider it a masterpiece of
I
video
definitely like
gaming.
I definitely like the lore. I think they set up in Dark Souls more, as little that you do get, without
Mhm.
doing everything like that. I do feel like I liked it better than Demon Souls.
I did like the lore. I
They
liked
did a
everything.
much better job in one with the lore than they did in Demon Souls.
I felt like I kept up with it a lot easier than like it felt like reading things and I got a better picture of things and moving on and going like and I don't know, there was just it also could be the first one that just clicked like that style of play where it just felt like oh man, some people get into it, some people hate it, some people love it, but if you love it, it just it was like that first taste of like perfection of this type of play. Because after that, people are like, oh my god, Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. Kind of after the first one, I felt like I wasted a lot, not wasted, but grinded a lot of time. Like oh man, like Ornstein Small, like fucking felt like hours on that shit, and some other bosses I can't even think off the top of my head. And then I've played these other ones, and it's like I see how to do everything. I can run through the level really fairly easy. Like not easy, but like there could still be some challenges, but it's like it's not that bad. I understand what's coming. It's a Dark Souls game. The first one just felt like maybe it's that nostalgia surprise first taste of where it's just like this is a different type of game I'm
It's
playing.
new. It's
Yeah.
And
new.
Now,
yeah.
I mean, granted, going back to Demon Souls, yeah, I do feel like Dark Souls does better too in that sense. Demon Souls, I do feel like I was more concerned about the mechanics, the mechanisms of the game, like the whole white and black infinity or
Hmm.
whatever, and like didn't quite understand it, and then like was I felt I was more of that, and then instead of getting into the lore and things like that I did in Dark Souls.
So the question I would have then, and this honestly, everything that you're saying applies to me too. I didn't pay attention to the lore in Demon Souls. I just thought it was a cool game, and I just played it. I didn't really focus on the lore at all at the time. Lore didn't come in until for me until Dark Souls, where but by at that point I started realizing, and what got me was I believe it was the oh, it's after you kill the gargoyles and you get the key to go to the I believe it's to the depths then. Wherever you get the key to go to the lower ended berg, pardon me. Specifically the lower ended berg.
It's been a while.
I had no idea where the door was. I had no clue. But I had to read the item description to suddenly go, "Oh, it's that door I passed earlier," cuz up until that point I hadn't been paying attention to it at all. And then I started reading all the other item descriptions and then realized that that's how that's how the lore is being delivered. Like the world building occurs in the item descriptions, which was such a to me a new concept. I didn't even realize they did that in Demon Souls at all. I just played the game.
Yeah,
So
Demon Souls was very much go here, beat the boss, go here, beat the boss.
yeah. Progress through the
Not
level
that
till you
not
kill all the bosses and
yeah,
teleport back.
not that Dark Souls isn't go here, beat the boss. It just I don't know, more fluid, and it takes that way, um, and then puts a lot of checkpoints like um Ornstein and Smog are definitely a checkpoint. Like this, you gotta know how to play the game. Like,
Oh yeah, I actually think that I draw a line because I like watching people who've never played Dark Souls before play Dark Souls 1, and one that's one of the, to me, Ornstein and Smo is the pinnacle of the combat mechanics. All the bosses beyond Ornstein and Smo kind of have a gimmick to them. Like there's something that you do that's gonna not necessarily something, but to either get to the boss or to fight the boss, there's just a gimmick to do it. But that one, there's not really a gimmick. It's just you got to fight them both at the same time. And if you haven't gotten at least half decent at the combat by that point, you're not going to beat them. You're just going to hit a brick wall.
definitely would say, yeah. Like I said, yeah, there were definitely some checkpoints in that game that, like, you need to know how to play the game. You need to know how to use your, move the character. You just can't, board and sort it.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, I guess we can go. So my next question, because it's gonna go in kind of similar to what makes a Soul game, is more a sense of why we like Soul games so much. So I guess we can kind of combine those two. So I guess let's try to figure out, I guess, what makes a Souls game, and then we'll kind of turn into why do we like Souls games, because all three of us definitely are big fans of the Soul series. Definitely, like I said, I've most of the ones that I've played are definitely the From Software games. I've dipped my toe into some other ones, but haven't fully played played through anything. And then we'll later go on to Nick, because Nick is the newbie here, technically.
In a way.
Kind of. Yeah.
In a way.
So we'll start with John. So John, what's a Souls game to you?
I'm torn on this because I feel there's two in my head. There's two schools of thought. You have people have expanded it to more. I think the public opinion is starting to turn towards, oh, the game's difficult, so it's Souls-like. Because Souls, when Dark Souls 1 came out, their advertising campaign was prepare to die. That was and that was a new concept for gaming at the time. People were surprised by, oh, you're telling me that I will die playing this game and that it's going to be difficult. Wasn't there one called the Prepare to Cry edition or something like that? That was the joke.
Mm-hmm.
That concept was new, and I think it associated difficult games with Souls-like games. That is, to me, couldn't be further from the case. However, one of the ones in the, if you consider it part of it, Sekiro, I am torn on whether that is, to me, a Souls game or not. If you take it from one perspective, which is the combat style, it opens it up to many more games to be referred to as Souls-like games. Dodging mechanics. I've been playing The Witcher 3 recently. It follows the same combat mechanics. You dodge attacks, you can roll away from attacks, you have a light attack and a heavy attack and some special attacks that you can do. So does the combat make a Souls game a Souls game? In my head, no. It's more the storytelling. Maybe even a combination of both. Because to me, the in essence, the Souls games all follow minimalistic storytelling along with the combat, where you get a generalized picture of what's occurring if you play through the game and don't read any items or look into the lore at all. But when you actually play the game and you read the item descriptions of the things you're getting, the world just expands, and you realize the depth that they've created in the game that the normal player who just plays through never even sees. And then you can draw different comparisons based on that lore. To me, that's what makes a Souls game. And in Sekiro, there's a little bit of that, but the story's laid out for you. And another example I'll give is the Star Wars game, that they did that has Souls-like combat.
Oh,
I'm drawing a blank at the moment. I
oh
have the
god,
game.
it's such a good game too.
Hold on.
It's the most badass
Come here,
one.
Steam library. And again, I categorized it as in my Steam library. I have a category called Metroidvania / Souls. It's Jedi Fallen Order.
That's it.
That's
Great.
it. Yep.
It has Souls-like combat, but the story is there. You make decisions as a character. Your character, and here's one that I think we've discussed in regards to another topic. Your character speaks, and in Souls games, your character doesn't talk ever.
He speaks to my soul.
But anyway, that in my head is what makes a Souls game. Minimalistic storytelling, a combat style, and that's what makes a Souls game.
Now, do you think actually any of the gaining souls and losing souls or mechanic or anything like that makes a Souls game?
No, because that's just a current. I mean, you could call
Well,
it experience points. You could, I
yeah.
mean, heck, in Bloodborne, it's referred to as blood echoes. It could be money. It's all just a currency
Well, that's what I was
system.
going to say. So, in a Souls game, I don't think there's really anything particularly new from, say, an old NES game. NES games used to be hard, difficult. If you die, you reset. And in a soul sense, like heck, even in Mario, if you collect coins and then if you get a 100, you gain a life. But if you die, you lose them all. There could be even a system there. So I don't know if any of those mechanisms truly make it a Souls game. But what you're saying about how the story progresses, I think, is the big one for us.
Yep, agreed. Nick, what about you?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I would say for a Souls game for me, it's a combination of things. I feel the combat is a huge part of it, where it's a very. Eventually, once you get higher level and all that, you do more damage and all that. But I feel beforehand, it's almost like a pathetic piece of shit, and you're barely hitting anything, really killing things. Very hard odds against you type deal. And it's mostly skill based. I would say that's a big part of it. Very skill based, knowing how to dodge, roll, yada yada yada. And that all depends on the previous ones. You could sword and board pretty decently in Dark Souls 1. That became a thing. It's a good one too, and 2 and 3, I guess, as well. But not as much because things definitely have evolved as the series has gone over. Especially Bloodborne, for fuck's sake. Definitely Bloodborne. I haven't played Sekiro yet. So I can't say too much about that one. That one's definitely more skill based as well. I'd say that's probably heavily skill based from what I do now. I don't think there really is any upgrades you get in terms of weapons or anything like that.
Slightly, there are. You don't get a direct weapon upgrade. You get you can strengthen your weapon, but you can't change weapons. Your primary weapon is a katana.
Okay.
That's
So I would
that.
say that's probably primarily skill based then, more so than anything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So the combat's changed, but I always feel part of Soulsborne is, or Souls like, and it's in many other games where it's like, oh yeah, I'm cool. Maybe you do okay with like the fodder, the normal enemies, but once you get to a boss, you hit it and you go, shit, I did 2% of its life in one hit. And this thing's going to attack now 13 times before I can hit it again. Unless you get really good on knowing its pattern. That's probably another part of it, Soulsborne, is knowing patterns. Because that's a huge part of it. Once you know a pattern, boom, no big deal. Because that's most of it. Usually when you kind of get a sense, you can see its telegraphed attacks. That's probably the biggest part of it. Besides that would be a feeling of,
Oh shit, what's around the corner?
well, that's definitely part of it. But what I'm thinking of right now is, in terms of story, here's a cinematic. Welcome to the world. You have no idea what the fuck that cinematic meant. Just kind of give you a general idea, like, okay, some crazy shit's happening. Cool. we're not going to tell you anything else really.
Oh,
Like in
I
terms of
think I
just
know where you're going with this.
like a blunt telling, it's the general figuring things out. You have to figure it out. It's not going to give it to you. Hell, you might not figure it completely out on your own. You have to watch a YouTube video, but it's not given to you on a silver platter. You could completely miss certain things, like you said. Big part of it sometimes is just finding that right item when you pick it up, and it's like, oh, here's the toothpick on the floor. Oh, this toothpick represents the weapon of justice, and yada yada yada, and this is why this person died. And you're like, oh shit, that's how that relates to this. Okay, cool. But if you didn't go to that corner in that body area, you would have never fucking known it. You would have kind of had to have guessed things. So it's kind of an exploring of the story. You really have no idea who you are, except usually what's told to you. Like, oh, chosen undead. You're the chosen undead. Why the fuck am I chosen? You have no idea. Like, it's not told to you. Uh, chosen is it chosen Ash in the third one? Whatever. You're the chosen. You're something Ash. Okay,
The
cool.
Ashen one, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. You're Ash in one. These fuckers that these guys are supposed to do something. Maybe, who knows? But we're gonna go with you. You're a piece of shit though. But can you get the job done? Thanks. What job? Just do it. Just do the job. What? Cool. You gotta figure it out. You have no idea, and you're kind of just piecing life together throughout the entire thing. It's never a full. Usually, most games are like, "Here you go. Here's this. You're the good guy." You're not the good guy. You don't know what the fuck you are. You're just going along, and that's basically it. I feel that's part of it. It's just kind of knowing very bare minimum details. You might not learn nothing else or anything else, except maybe some random thing. You're like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? And that's it. You really
That's
kind of have to find it on your own.
yeah, that's I think one of the reasons I like the beginning of Bloodborne. One of those sentences is, once I think the guy is like, it doesn't matter, just go out and kill some beasts.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah,
you took a little bit to get there, but the sense of things are happening in the world, but you don't know where you fit into it.
yep, yep. You have no idea. Just, it's a huge world. There's some shit going on, and we're not talking like the local mayor. We're talking some shit. Maybe I didn't get that. Like, it's a
Like
huge
world
fucking
ending
thing.
shit.
But what are you in all of this? And many things are kind of like, ha ha ha. Many things have come like you. There's been people around here. You're just some shitty guy. Look at you, shitty guy, being all shitty. But then some people are like, oh, but you're chosen. You're supposed to do some stuff. But can you? Can you?
Well,
I don't know.
in regards to that statement specifically, you have, you're told, oh, chosen undead, blah blah blah, and then the first thing that you get, and look, I'll throw it out there because you guys have been, but again, it's been out for years and years at this point. When you show up at Firelink, the one guy, the forlorn guy, is just like, oh yeah, there's tons of chosen undead. They just keep
Yep.
showing up.
Yep. You're fucked. You're gonna die. We're all dying. We're all terrible. Everyone's depressed. Kill yourself. You mean nothing. But then they try to make you like you'll hit those few pieces where you're like, you're special. And then you talk to the guy next to the person that told you you're special, going, not really. But at the same time, you're kind of like, what? So you never really know where you fit, what's going on, why is this happening, unless you find like the right things and just kind of get those little extra key points. Like maybe this, you have to infer a lot. And then after that, you have a few drinks, you watch a YouTube video, and it all makes sense.
There are some great content creators out there if you ask for Dark Souls lore. So
Yep.
uh, definitely check those out. Because I can tell you that I probably wouldn't have understand everything the first time, the first playthrough. So
Oh,
Hell no.
agreed completely.
Hell no. Once it's done Bloodborne here, in like the next week or two, I'm going to be YouTubing some shit. Going, what?
Oh,
Because this one is worse, I
honestly, I
feel.
would love to just have put that up. We'll watch it together just to have you go, what? That's what ties that together.
that
Like,
would
Because
be
there's it's beautiful when those connections are
this
made. And
one has been the weirdest one by far. And well, it's definitely a weirder because the setting is definitely way different. I would say most Dark Souls, at least before like Sekiro, Bloodborne, are kind of like fantasy medieval types. Um, Like there might be like some of the bosses might not fit that genre completely. Like I would say
Ho-
Nito's kind of weird and all that shit, but majority of it kind of feels very fantasy type. And
let me in and I think we may have discussed this before, not here, but Kyle, you haven't played Sekiro either, have you?
I have not played Sekiro.
Okay. Comparing that one compared to all the rest is a bit of an outlier because when you played when I've played Dark Souls and Bloodborne, both of those gave me the same feeling, just like Nick's just been describing. But when you play Sekiro, it instead gives me the feeling like I'm watching an old samurai movie. It's a very clear picture for me. And so that's why I consider it a little bit of an outlier. Great game, don't get me wrong, but not really the same feeling from the other Souls games. And I say
gotcha.
other Souls games, in my head, I'm debating on whether or not it even is a Souls game if it's not its own thing.
Well, that's where I guess you
Sorry,
go
I
with
just
the
made it.
whole with that. Like it's definitely Soul, but I wouldn't maybe like don't put it directly in the same line as like maybe Dark Souls and like Bloodborne, but then call it Souls like, where
Yeah,
it
the
takes
term
things
Souls
from it.
like is appropriate, but not a what makes a Souls game. I don't think it is a Souls game. It's Souls like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from what I know from it is it definitely seems more of like, all right, let's take our Souls games and then let's actually make a narrative game. Like a full it still has the same mysteries and stuff to it, but you're an actual character. Your character talks in it.
Yeah,
Um
exactly.
yeah,
You're hitting the nail on the head.
let's make it like they actually make a another game early in a PS2 game called Tenchu Shadows or something like that. It seems like they were trying to remake that in a sense, but like with all the knowledge that they have, with everything that they have
Mm-hmm.
now.
So
Um,
there are 2 points I'd like to bring up. I think that's a good segue to do it. Like you just brought up one of their prior games. The one I'll get out of the way quickly because I think we've kind of talked a little bit about it. Is the idea of exploring, right? That is why we're excited. At least that's why I'm excited for Elden Ring and why I've stayed away from any plot centric anything, any discussion involving plot, because I would like to find it out via the game, not by somebody just telling it to me. I'll listen to that later to catch anything I missed. But that I think is why I'm looking forward to it. And then the second one being, uh, you mentioned one of their older games. Each one of these games, as they're released sequentially, has always built upon the successes of another. Like we mentioned, Demon Souls being the first. They've made games prior to that, but
Mm-hmm.
Demon Souls was the first Souls game, and it was, Kyle, you said it yourself. It is clunky. It was so, and maybe they improved it in the PS5 version. I haven't played it. Very very clunky. And then you go to Dark Souls 1, which by comparison to Dark Souls 3 is much slower and again, you'd say almost say clunky, but much more polished than Demon Souls, and each one has built upon each other. And now we're getting a new one that at a base level, I know you can jump in it, which is coming from Sekiro. So that what can they do with that extra technology that they've now built for themselves in a new game also makes me excited.
I would like to point out that I said this at the beginning, how I was excited for the next game that they can make when you guys were like, no, 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 that's too far.
It's too far.
Oh no, you were referring to post. You were referring to post Elden Ring. We haven't even got to Elden Ring yet. Calm down.
Anyway, um, so I mean, what I'll go into, I think there's a couple of things that actually attract us to these games. Mostly, I think it actually brings us to me anyway. At the time that these games were coming out, I think gaming actually got kind of stale. I think the games, I think I felt in the point that games were giving you everything. They kind of were like, here's, all the unlocks already in the sense of, or if you didn't have all the unlocks, you had to pay for the unlocks in DLC. Um,
Ugh.
so I felt
Oh,
like this was one of the first ones, the first types of games that like it you could miss something if you didn't look in that if you didn't look in this bush and go down a secret path this way and did this or whatnot, you missed something. You didn't get it, or you missed maybe even a crucial story point. Um,
Mhm.
and that they had the uh, like, I guess, balls to be able to do this in a game, saying you're gonna die a lot and you can miss things and you could do. And I think that like points to a lot of the older types of games that gave us a challenge and things like that that it did. So I think that's why it attracts us more to it, because like that's what gets me. Like I'm an exploring type of guy. I gotta look at every nook and cranny and everything like that. I like unlocks in games and things like that. If you find something, you can unlock it, or if you did something, you unlock it. And I
Yep.
felt like that games at that point in time when these games were coming out, they just didn't really have that in there. It was kind of more of like, just here's everything, and you're just basically playing a movie kind of sometimes. Not to knock on any of the games. I enjoyed many of the games of that period, but this I think was one of the first ones where they're like, we're going to take the chance that you're going to die, you're going to miss things, you're going to do this, and I think that that's what more attracts me to the Souls games. Um,
I can appreciate that because I think you for me there was also an aspect of games were becoming more mainstream, more widely accepted mainstream when this came out. And this was, as far as I can remember in my lifetime, the first game that literally set people up with the expectation of you can't do this, you will die. And I remember people complaining about it, actually wanting the developer to put out a content patch to make it easier, and they said no. And good on, in my opinion, good on them. I mean, just it's tough. It's tough to say because it. And again, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but it came
Yeah.
at a time when people were going, "Oh, I play Call of Duty. I'm a gamer," and my response was, "Did you beat this?"
You're a
Yeah, it was
you're a
very early, and like I
snob.
said, at that time where it was, like I said, gaming I think was trying to appeal to a wider audience. So we were getting these types of games, and this one and Demon Souls decided to go, well, we're gonna go this way.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, but I think I was just I don't know if I'd call games around that time easy or give it all or buy all. It was just something unique. I felt because I've played hard games before. Like I was gonna bring it up with this because Souls games technically, yeah, it's not really a Souls game, but it was made by FromSoft. Is I really like the Armored Core series.
Did you
Uh,
hear, by the way?
they're
Yeah,
coming out with another one.
yeah.
The next game they think they're making is Armored Core
Yeah,
6.
yeah, no, maybe moist, maybe very moist, because I love mecha. I love mecha games. I
I
love mecha games.
I am hyped. I can tell you that.
And they are hard. They made those games hard when before they did Dark Souls and all that. Those were some hard ass games. Was Armored Core, and I just think that's their style. They like to be dicks, even though sometimes you look at some of the things that they've technically, or at least were the producer on, or a game from them, kind of hilarious. Like I think one of them is like a God. What the fuck was it? It's like a Monster Rancher or a Pocket Monster type bullshit game, and you're like, what? Like they have some weird games that technically came out from them. I don't know if they just like produced it or like were the
They were the company that was charged to make, to do the game.
I can't remember the name of the fuck what the distributor, like
Yeah.
that type of like the front facing company. But it's kind of hilarious seeing some of those things. But Armored Core I love from them, and there was games like that still around that time. I don't know. It was a different type of combat that I really felt like maybe it's kind of in the same sense where you always know the story. This one just was like a sense of wonder and experience overall, where it's like you have to not just figure out how to beat the boss and beat the levels. You got to figure out what the fuck's going on. Where did this come from? You figure the past, present, and maybe even the future sometimes, depending on the game, of like what's happening in this world. And it's like, this is everything's exciting. Nothing's giving to you on a silver platter, story wise, even. Like, look at that. That's the bad guy. You don't know any of that shit. So I guess it is that, but I don't know. It's not just difficulty of the game, it's just the whole package, I would say. It was just unique and beautiful.
Well, I mean, we can go into kind of the next thing. So Nick, like he said at the very beginning, when we got actually, I think we were even going to like start streaming Dark Souls 2. I think it was that night, and I think you played it then, and then you never played Dark Souls again.
Yeah, I played it that night, and just something about it wasn't clicking with me.
But we decided just a few months ago to pick up the series since Nick actually hasn't played any of the Souls games since Dark Souls 1. That we're like, all right, well, we're gonna get ready for ELDEN Ring, and we're just gonna go knock them out. So, how'd you feel about it? How you like it? We started with Dark Souls 2,
Yep.
then we
So,
went to, and then we decided to go 3 to continue the story, and now we're on Bloodborne.
yep. So, with Dark Souls 2, since we played the Scholar of the first,
Yes, we
Scholar
did play
person.
the Scholars, which has more content and a little bit more added to it.
Yeah, and it changed a ton of things because I even looked at it because when first Dark Souls 2 first came out, I was all into it because I love Dark Souls 1 so much, and I got like the collector's edition game guide. It was fucking gorgeous. Like done by them. You went
Wait
through it.
for Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, it's basically like an art book. It was beautiful. It was really well done. I don't know if I have it anymore because I was so pissed. Um, not pissed, but just upset. But I remember I picked it up the same night I picked the game up, and going through that, if you compare the first edition of the game compared to Scholar, they changed so much just overall. Like even stats and crap like that. Like it's a completely different game, which I agree with. Um, Playing two and going through that Scholar's the first edition compared to the first one, because I think we beat the first two bosses. Yeah, we beat the first two bosses, and I just something wasn't feeling right. And I don't know, did Scholar first edition, we got through it, and I was like, you know what, this feels a lot better. And going through it as Scholar first edition, because it definitely is the most, in terms of being the least favorite or favorites overall, it is the least favorite for sure in terms of many people. I don't think it's that bad of a game. It is its own thing. It is not a continuation of the first one fully. It feels like you don't really feel too linked to the first one, and it does feel overall kind of different. I couldn't even really explain it. I guess the combat feels different. Even the atmosphere is different. It feels like it's not the same vibe. Um, but it was an enjoyable game if you look at it as something like this is a sequel, but it's not. Think of it as completely something else. It worked that way.
Now, now I will say on this one here, we decided to play pretty much the whole game together. I think we did
Most of the
mostly
areas
even
even.
the areas together, the bosses together. How'd that go? Was that
It was pretty
change
good.
anything?
That might have changed a lot of it. Is it did feel different, and that probably might have even made it feel better for me. Maybe it wasn't completely as many changes as Scholar of the First Sin. I know we did get to a point eventually where I think it might have been halfway, maybe a little bit more halfway, where it's basically, hey, we're just gonna go through the areas together in the sense of we're talking to each other as we are now. We went through the areas, and when we got to the boss, we might do the bosses. We would do the bosses together. Um, I was fine with that. That was cool. Uh, the co-op I definitely enjoyed. The first one I did not co-op at all. um,
To the end game.
Till the end game, which was
Oh yeah,
hilarious. There was some good times
some
there.
good and that wasn't just. I wouldn't even say that's co-oping. Co-oping implies we're
That was
going
funny
after, but no,
PvP.
co-op
Yeah.
PvPing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Beautiful
yeah.
times.
Had some great PvP times in the kiln. Um, Hilarious times. uh, yeah, I don't know. It was just I even found the story okay. The only thing I will personally say that annoyed me with it is actually no, I'll skip it. I enjoyed it all the way through. I enjoyed the Scholar first and things I know different, like having is it Aldon, whatever the actual Scholar, the first and the brother, the one that's the monster blob and all that. That he technically is the last boss, really, after Natara, whatever the fuck her name is. I enjoyed him. That kind of added something, I think, to everything. Like it's
Oh,
like a
Aldrich.
Aldrich. There we go.
Aldrich is
Thank
who
you.
you're talking about.
That added something to it where it just I don't know, it made things cohesive more with having him around. I think it's Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 was the true successor for me. And it definitely probably lied because of nostalgia, because 2 didn't have the links as much as 3 did. 3 had so many things where it's like, holy fuck, Dark Souls 1, holy fuck, Dark Souls 1. And it's like, cool. And then you had those few things here and there where you might pick an item up and you're like, this fucking item's from Dark Souls 2. Like, God, what was that? The one swords warrior lady that was from that, it's really cool with you. You meet her a few times.
Mira.
Mira,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's from Mira.
You pick her, you find her mask at one point, and I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. Even though it's maybe not her mask, but it's the mask from at least her country she's from or whatever. So it was kind of nice that they added those nods in because it made it feel more tied into the whole storylines of things. But it just felt so nice seeing all these, like, I don't know, links back to, like, even seeing the old asylum demon at the top of the forest area, like that weird boss. I was like seeing the dang demon, like he's all weird, and I don't know, it just felt like such an evolution and continuation where it was like it just kind of brought in feelings, even though fuck that forest area.
Oh, you didn't like the swamp?
It's the worst fucking area.
It's a poison swamp. There's always a poison swamp.
But you know what? The bog, or not the bog, wherever the area before Queelag is. It's been a while.
Blight Town.
Blight Town. Thank you. I was thinking like Blog Town. I was like, that's not right. This is about my 4th drink here, so I can say this. I was okay with that area. Like, it was kind of annoying. Wasn't bad. That area, fuck that area. That is the... just double think before I say it. What area might be worse? That might be the worst area for me, Dark Souls wise. Yeah, I was okay with that area. I
do know an area in Bloodborne. I don't know if that would change it.
One area in Bloodborne. Okay, so in the Souls series, the worst area is that area for me. The one I'm already blanking on. The one I just said. Whatever. The Poison Swamp. Yes. Fangorn Forest. Was it Fangorn Forest?
Fangorn Forest,
Or
yeah.
Farron Keep.
Farron Keep. I don't know why I'm thinking Fangorn.
Yeah, I don't know.
Terrible. Fucking hate it. Once you know what to do, you can blast through that quick as shit. Like all Dark Souls areas. Once you know what the fuck you need to do, you can blast through that shit. Since you didn't know what to do, and you had the slow ass swamp area, and you're like blab 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 blab, fuck that forest area. Now
we taught Nick the art of death running at times, and he said it made things easier.
Wow, yeah, death running. I knew death running from the first one, but it's just so much ridiculous how. Because I'm like Kyle. Kyle mentioned it earlier, where I like to explore every nook and fucking cranny. I know that probably annoyed you guys when we were actually doing levels together. Dark Souls 3, I don't think we did any of that. I think we did that also until we got the bosses.
I think at the end of Dark Souls 2, we were kind of just like, all right, go through the area, let's meet at the boss. Yeah. And then I think we just continued. I think we tried maybe at the beginning, we were like, do we want to do that? But I think we just ended up going.
I think there was only one area I actually asked for John. I was like, and I think it was Farron Keep, and I was like, can you just fucking come in here and help me make sure to kill somebody? Because I just want to go through all this fucking shit. It's pissing me off. Wasn't that was hard? It was just tedious.
It was the crabs.
It was the crabs. It was
putting you over the edge.
Yeah, I was getting pissed at the crabs.
The crabs and the big effing fucking tree things that slam the trees and spear us.
The giant elder grews, I believe.
Yeah, whatever the fuck those are.
Yeah, right before Farron Keep. Yep. I was like, I can get past this, but this is pissing me off. I'm fucking out in the mood. But the worst area is Bloodborne. Would be fuck.
The one with all the bell ladies. The Nightmare.
I was actually okay with Nightmare of Mensis.
Not Nightmare of Mensis. Is it the Nightmare of Mensis? No, the one where all
Nightmare Frontier.
Yeah, Nightmare Frontier.
Yeah,
Nightmare Frontier was pretty fucking annoying. I will give it that. That's probably tied at least.
No, the one with all the bell ringing ladies summoning all the red stuff, all the red enemies. That wasn't the one.
We got Nightmare Frontier.
Yeah, that's Nightmare Frontier.
Yeah, which right outside the research lab or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Nightmare Frontier. No. I'm having another area that was kind of annoying to me.
The one with the
Um,
amygdala that shoots a laser at you. Even though you said the laser part wasn't bad, but I thought you said everything else was.
Oh crap!
Before
No,
you
I
go
can't
into
remember.
Haragul or whatever.
yes. I was mixing up an area. Yeah, the bitches that kept summoning people and they gave you no souls at all. It was, it's the upper
I can't.
level of
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
remember
before
it.
you go into like a
It's
Hagul
after you
or
kill
Halagul or
Rom.
whatever. Yeah,
yeah. It's the second time you technically get to the area, but you're going through the upper level now,
yeah.
and it's God, I can't remember. It's right before you. Is it Bloodletting Beast? No, not Bloodletting Beast. Whatever the one that has the boss fight with the Bell Ladies, that has like 3 Bell Ladies on each side, shooting fireballs at you from above.
The one
That area.
reborn.
The one reborn.
Yeah, the one reborn. There we go. That area, because the things were just the fact that there was a few times I didn't realize things were getting spawned just constantly. I just killed a few things. That was really fucking annoying. I probably spent the most time in that area, actually. Yes. It was pissing me off. And once I realized, like, just push through, no big deal. But oh my god, it was pissing me off because I'm a very meticulous person and they knew what the fuck they were doing. That place pissed me off. I was like, I want to explore things. I want to explore things. And the Bell Lady for that one was, God, where the fuck were they? They were in some fucking asshole place that I hated. Once you got the place unlocked, you can just shortcut, no big deal. I remember the first few areas were really pissing me off. I also did not enjoy, and what I was thinking of is the place before the Shadows of Yarnum. It's right before Rom the Spider. It's the one where it has the snakes and shit all down the path.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Just
damn, I can't remember.
because the area is fucking huge.
And
Was,
it's not only sprawling horizontally but vertically as
yes.
well.
So you're going down and you just have to explore everything. Hated that area. That area was annoying. Once I knew the area, and then of course, after I found the fucking one shortcut that I remember going like, it's not really a shortcut, but it's kind of a shortcut, but it's not really a shortcut. We're good with that crap.
Oh, where you go down one elevator and then you actually have to do what feels
Backtrack,
like
kind of.
backtracking. Yeah.
And go down the other one. Yeah, it's definitely a shortcut, but it's like a weird place. Yeah, that area was just dicks, just straight dicks. Worst area, Bell Lady place, right before the Reborn one. Getting down to the area that you've been to before, no big deal. First time you go there, no big deal. Um, the upper area right after the bell or the first the lamp. Oh my god, I fucking hated it. Just pissed me the fuck off.
Now here's my question: so we skipped. So the actual order that came out was Dark Souls 2, then Bloodborne, then Dark Souls 3. Did you see a difference between Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne?
Oh yeah, extremely. People always said, oh, uh, from what I know, I try not to really spoil myself on things or anything like that. Bloodborne's like, a different type of combat. It's fast, and it is definitely a different type in the sense you got to be aggressive. But when we played Dark Souls 3, I did not play a defensive build at all. I played a more aggressive type build.
So you were already ready for Bloodborne.
And yeah, I feel I was ready for Bloodborne, and I feel Dark Souls 3 was a faster style of play as well.
Oh yeah, it's much faster than Bloodborne is.
Yeah, like the enemies were faster. I felt faster. So Dark Souls 1 is a game I feel you could go in and be chill with it in a sense. Like, it's if you first time you're playing it, no. But now after everything else, it's like, yes, you can be methodical with that game. I feel like there's a dance to it. Of course, equipment does matter, getting better stuff, upgrading it, yada yada, yeah. But there's a methodicalness that you can get to it. Dark Souls 3 is a little bit more chaotic, gotta be faster. You do boom 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 boom. Bloodborne, not as fast. Like, different style, yes. But if you beat 3, you can beat Bloodborne easily. Unless you just suck dick.
All right, so let's go into now since John's the only one that's played Sekiro, but let's go into favorites here. What do you think? What would you rank them?
Oh, well. Like I
Technically,
said,
you haven't finished Bloodborne yet, but we're on the cusp.
yeah,
Like
we're
there.
right
and I
there.
haven't done Demon Souls either. Beat Demon Souls.
Okay,
I'm
true.
gonna say Demon Souls is the worst.
You haven't played that remake yet, though. Looks pretty.
It does.
The
Looks
remake
gorgeous.
does look really good.
This is tough because I don't hate Dark Souls 2 the way a lot of people do.
Yeah, but in a ranking, it being at the bottom, they're already good games. You've established that. So putting it at the bottom doesn't make it a bad game.
No,
Just the
it
worst
doesn't.
of the best.
Do I gotta go to John first here?
No. I don't want him to influence my choice here. I'm gonna say bottom is Demon Souls, except I'm not including remake. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna do Dark Souls 2. And then I'm gonna do Dark Souls 3.
I figured Bloodborne would actually be your favorite, only because of the setting.
It's really close between Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne, but I probably am gonna do Bloodborne above it. But it's really, I'm talking like a fucking hair, because I really did love Dark Souls 1. Like, that's the first game.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's the first game. I think I like platinum like Assassin's Creed 2 or some shit. I got really into that one. But Dark Souls I got really into, and I just went hard into it. Like, I just played the fuck out of it. And when I platinum that was probably the highest point in my life. It was
Telling your girl that too.
You can tell her that, fucker. It was the highest point of my life, but it felt like an achievement, like a significant achievement in my life.
Oh, that's why they call them achievements.
Derp. No shit, but it felt good. It felt good on the whole. It's like I could put that shit on my resume. Platinum Dark Souls. Fuck you. Like, I don't know. It just felt nice because that one
I'm
I
sorry,
didn't.
I'm stuck on that right there. I'll put it on my resume. I platinum Dark Souls, bitch.
That should be a resume thing. That should be a skill. I'm sorry.
Not only a skill, it shows that you strive. Like, if I want this done, I'm gonna get this done, bitch. Like, you go for the hard shit. Now, of course,
Take
once
some
you realize how to play
dedication.
it, exactly. Now, if you go in blind, yeah, like I went in blind on that shit pretty hardcore. I think I waited until my third playthrough before I actually looked up like spare things, like, oh, where's a spell or something I'm missing or some stupid shit, because Dark Souls 1 definitely had a lot of things like God, what was it? In Quaylag's lair, there was that guy that's part of the Covenant that you could buy chaos spells from or whatever. You had to do specific shit to get that. I think you had to get, I can't even remember. But that one was very hard, in my opinion, compared to the later ones in terms of you need to do these specific steps, and you can only do this on one playthrough. And if you do it on this one playthrough, you can't do any of this rest of this shit. I think that was one that required 3 playthroughs like, and that's the only one. I think it only had 2. Yeah, it only had 2 endings, so it had Light the Fire and Not Light the Fire, and compared to the later ones. But I don't know. It took me to my third one until I actually looked into it. So I don't know. It just kind of felt nice, and I pretty much had everything except like 2 or 3 trophies. It was like stupid shit where you had to do something in a specific order before you kill a boss. So just, I don't know. That one felt like a high achievement, but I've really enjoyed Bloodborne. I've enjoyed the lore. I've enjoyed the atmosphere. I think it's a gorgeous fucking game. I think all the PCP and LSD was taken when they made it because there's some shit in it. I killed a horse baby. That was nice.
That's the main point of the game is to go kill a baby. By the way,
It is. It is the main point of the game. Catholicism. That's what this game's about. Catholicism.
I'm gonna have to cut that out.
Clap.
All right, roll it back to the 0. Let's start this again.
So, welcome to Just 3 Geeks. We're going to talk about Dark Souls today.
No, I knew that you were gonna have a hard time because you liked Dark Souls 1 and you
A lot.
enjoyed the game, but I figured the setting for Bloodborne is just more you. You're more into the Cthulhu-ish type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if not even that, the Victorian era and all that kind of stuff. I think you're more
gorgeous.
more into that type of area.
It's the I would call it the phase of like you have the medieval times. It's the time of chivalry, yada yada yada. I would say Victorianism is a time of intellectualism.
Everybody be a dickbag.
That also, which is part of intellectualism. There's a time of discovery, and I feel it's a time of forcing. Well, it's definitely dirtiness and some fucked up shit, but I feel it's a time of knowledge for knowledge's sake. Fuck the cost, and that's what Bloodborne feels like. Is there some fucked up shit? I'll put eyeballs in my brain,
All the
and
eyeballs.
that's what makes me
That's a
like.
great way to describe
Yeah.
it. It's discovering things for discovery's sake, regardless of the consequences. That is beautiful,
Yep.
man.
That's exactly what I always enjoyed about I always feel about some of the HP Lovecraft stuff. There's definitely some cult and religious stuff in there, but some of it is I feel good to some of the stories and all that. It's knowledge for knowledge's sake. There's these old gods and shit like that. Let me do this. I'm gonna kill a fucking child and sacrifice 3 goats, and I'm gonna talk to this fire demon, and the fire demon just kills everyone and eats your skull. Like that's what Bloodborne feels like to me, and I just appreciate it. And the entire thing has felt that way. Every little note you get is knowledge for knowledge's sake. Really felt that way once we got to God, wherever the guy that has eyeballs in his skull, his little church, not church,
Master Willem,
Master Willem. Can't think of the area. Begins with a B, I think.
I'll say he's
Bergenworth.
the Bergenworth is
Yeah.
the school. The church is the other.
Yeah. You know, yeah. No, I meant Bergenworth because I realized the church. The church is the actual opposition. It is a perfect mix of H.P. Lovecraft stuff, which I'm not saying I praise H.P. Lovecraft. That dude was fucking insane as shit if you ever look at the actual him, which he had to be to write the shit he did. But I don't know. I think it's a beautiful story they've written, and I don't understand everything yet, of course, because fuck, it's wacky as shit. But I feel the same, the story, the vibes.
For most of the part when we're playing these games, we are just playing. We'll give Nick some tidbits and stuff like that, but we've been usually quiet about it. We're letting them figure it out.
Yeah, you guys really haven't given me anything at all. Like I might be like talking about something, and you're like, and
Yeah,
which kind of helps me think more along the lines.
Yeah, try to poke your brain towards the right direction a little bit.
You guys have been good about that, and now still a little lost on some things, but hey, we're getting there.
All right, John, what do you think? Which one do you recommend? I'll let you put Sekiro in there if you want.
The only thing I'll say about Sekiro, again, I personally don't feel that it's a Souls game. Even from a combat perspective, it functions differently than a Souls game. You'll know it when you play it. I would suggest that you guys play it, especially if you ever I'm trying to, Seven Samurai. Well, not Seven Samurai. It's actually a bad example. That's more. But old samurai movies where you had these duels occurring between 2 samurai masters, right?
Uh-huh.
And the way that the movie plays it, when you play Sekiro and you're in a boss fight, the boss fight feels like you're watching that scene, except you're the one controlling the action at that point. They are just great. It's a great combat system. It just doesn't fall into the Souls games for me because it functions a little differently, and you are a character, you know your place in what's occurring.
Mm-hmm.
There are some hidden tidbits in there, like they kind of keep a little bit of that, but you know what you're doing. You have a clear goal right from the beginning. This is what I'm going to do. And that's where it differs for me. So it's in its own category, but still an awesome game. Yeah, in fact, I have Sekiro in calligraphy done from a lady from Japan on my wall behind me because it just was a really, really good game.
No shit.
And
nice.
I really should go through and platinum it, but apparently it's quite a bit of grinding through New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus to get just the amount of shit you need to upgrade all the stuff as one of the trophies.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, they added some of that in. Anyway, but on to the Souls game ranking. I am torn on which I would put as the lowest, personally. And that would be Probably it's between 2 and Demon Souls, but not because again either of them are bad. 2, I personally prefer 2 before Scholar of the First Sin, but only for the opening sections. Scholar of the First Sin did a great job pulling the story more cohesive, but it like Nick was describing, it doesn't feel like a sequel to Dark Souls. It feels like a parallel world, perhaps, like completely parallel, because the ties are just so minimal. It's
Hmm.
it's it's minimal, and they're so minimal, and they don't feel like they're even related. Whereas with in Dark Souls 3, for example, when you find something that's a reference to 1 or 2, it's in an area that reminds you of that of an area from 1 or 2, and it allows you to almost like draw a timeline as to how that thing got there. Whereas 2 is just, oh hey, you remember this weapon from 1? Well, it's here. And there's no ties whatsoever.
Hmm.
Um anyway, I'm going to have to put it as 2 at the lowest. Now, Demon Souls, I played quite a bit of Demon Souls prior to playing Dark Souls, but I never really got into, like, I never platinumed Demon Souls until well after Dark Souls. Actually, I think after Dark Souls 2, now that I remember correctly. But again, lots of grinding to get all the trophies done in there. But once I got down to playing it, clunky mechanics aside, it's pretty good. Uh However, following up, I'm going to put Dark Souls I'm going to put Dark Souls 3 next. It felt great. Again, the top 3 are very close, followed by Bloodborne and then Dark Souls 1. And Dark Souls 1 specifically at the top, because even though I played Demon Souls and it had the same similar mechanics, it was the first game that I really got into that gave me what I will call the Souls experience, where I felt like I had never played a game like this before, even though I had. But the specifically regarding the story building, reading item, like being excited. Oh, I found a sword that has a name. Let me read that item. I'm so excited to just read this text in my inventory, which
Yep.
sounds terrible, but that's how I felt. And it had a much more cohesive story than Demon Souls. Like, just that opening cinematic to me, if somebody has never heard of this thing before and is into playing video games and you play that opening cinematic for them, I don't know how they couldn't be excited to play the game. So that would be my ranking. 2 Demon Souls, 3 Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1.
All right, pretty solid.
Respectable.
Yeah. So mine would be probably, for me at the bottom, it's probably going to be Demon Souls, only because I think I said it in the beginning. I never really got into it. I was more like, I think I was more focused, more mechanic wise into the game. Like I said, I never really just got into it. I didn't hate the game. It wasn't anything like that. I didn't feel like the game was any um worse off than any other game. I just it didn't resonate with me in the same way as, say, Dark Souls 1 did. Dark Souls 1 was uh very much my first, I would say, my first experience to the game, even though I did play Demon Souls. After that, Dark Souls 2, not not because it's a bad game in any sense, only because I think the other ones are just above it. I do like the story in it. Um, I like the whole aspect of, if you look at all 3 of the games, you're kind of looking at the beginning. Then you're looking at 1 where the world is dark, and then you were looking in 3 as the world is like fading again. So where it actually fits into the timeline, I enjoy for it. I enjoy it more than what I did when I first played it. Coming through it the second time with you, Nick.
Hmm.
Um, then I actually would probably go Dark Souls 1 for me. I have all the same feelings, everything. The game is great. It is what termed the Souls game for everything like these. And everything else that you guys said. It's a great game. It's a game that if you played it and it was your first Souls game, then it deserves to be up high on your list. It's a great game. But then I would go to Bloodborne for me. I like the setting as well. I think the Victorian kind of everything starts off as werewolves and all this kind of stuff, and then it switches hard into this elder god Cthulhu mythos kind of stuff. It's amazing. I like the combat as well. I think it's very smooth. And then since I'm going for that, then for me, I do think 3. I enjoy 3 a lot. I like it. It just ties in a lot with 1. It brings. I don't say it brings the story to a close because I definitely don't think it does. Uh, as much as they may not say they're making a Dark Souls 4, even though they haven't said they're going to not make a Dark Souls 4. But I think it closes it out nice, and I just like all the tie-ins. It's just great. I think the combat is amazing. Again, I do like medieval fantasy more, so I like the setting a little bit more. But it's definitely for me one of the ones I think they got everything right from all their previous games, and it's the complete package for me. I also probably one of my favorite fights is in that game is in the DLC, the first DLC actually, which is the Frida fight. I think the Frida fight is amazing.
Oh, oh yeah.
Probably my favorite
If
fight.
you thought a double stage boss was bad, let me introduce you to the Frida fight.
Probably one of my favorite fights in all this, in all the Souls games.
I can easily agree with that. That was probably my top fucking fight in the sense of after. Okay, I should change it. Ornstein and Small solo. Whew, felt great. That one co-op felt great. I probably would have fucking killed someone if I had to do that solo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We weren't even. I mean, we were pretty over leveled for Dark Souls 3 as well. We were definitely over leveled for Bloodborne, but
Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, because we just finished the end of the DLC boss there for Nick, which I think is the hardest boss in that game. And
I shat all over him.
we kind of sat back and watched him a little bit, but we still got it pretty easily.
That was the easiest I have ever seen that boss fight. The fact that when we killed him in mine, he never let the lightning off. We killed him so fast.
Yeah.
He screamed.
Yeah.
He just never got to the point where he could shoot the lightning off. I couldn't. I've never seen it done before.
We fucked him hard on that one.
But yeah, that's definitely. I don't know. It's just I love all the boss battles in 3. I think they're all great. I love the locations. I love the idea of all this convergence of world basically coming into one point. It's interesting. It was definitely mine. That takes my cake for me.
I'll agree. Well, I can't agree that it's the top for me, but from a lore perspective,
phenomenal.
It's deeper than 1.
Yeah,
big time.
Phenomenal. No, I will agree with that. It felt great. It felt like if this is the end of this particular universe, or at least the main story of it, maybe it links somehow to something else as a side thing or something like that. But as the main, it was a glorious coming to whole. I was like, oh.
In that regards, like the door they left open in 3 is the girl. I can't remember her name.
The painter,
the one above Frida.
Yep, the painter chick.
Yeah, she's painting a painting that even when you kill the DLC boss, the end boss in the DLC, she's painting a painting while the world burns down around her. And we know like how the paintings work is there can be life in the painting, so who knows what that is.
And then, God, well, we can go deeper with that. We don't even know how time works with that or anything like that.
Yeah, all right.
Like the 1 minute it takes me outside could be like centuries or eternities in there.
It's just a very cold and gentle place.
Just got to find your own bed to rot in. That's all.
Yeah. But yeah, that one definitely takes me. I'll put a little fun little question here now. Who's best firekeeper waifu? Mine's 3. I definitely have it. I'm just gonna
Oh.
say 3 is mine. You guys can't have her.
Okay, which one?
Which one? The
In
only
3?
one in 3.
No.
Oh, true. You can make her a firekeeper. No, the actual firekeeper.
Fair. I'm surprised you didn't go with like the almost Celtic one and 2.
She's close.
She's
He's
close.
not a scaly.
Scaly. What?
Well,
Isn't she
technically,
part dragon?
yeah, she's like
She's
dragon
in 2.
hybrid.
She's part dragon.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking. That's what he was talking about.
Do we have a firekeeper waifu in 1?
You do have a firekeeper wife.
Yeah.
One. She's just not very.
I mean,
there's actually a
technically
couple
you
of
have a
fire.
couple.
Five,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say, there's actually a couple of firekeepers. So.
They're not really like vocal, and you can kill them and take their soul, and then that fucking bonfire doesn't work if all that. If I remember right,
Yep.
it's been a
Yeah.
minute.
Oh my god.
So 1
I
automatically,
will
no
say,
matter what.
for any Dark Souls virgins out there, that point when you let the guy, no spoilers, but when a certain thing happens, and you go back to your nice safe bonfire and suddenly it's not there anymore. Oh, that
God.
sadness that
I remember
people
what
have
causes it.
is honey that I could pour into my mouth.
I remember why that happens. All right, I'm just gonna go with not a fire shrine waifu. I'm just gonna go with waifu. So I'm overriding your shit question, because really, in my opinion, you can only choose between 2 or 3.
You can choose Maiden. You didn't play Demon Souls.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Oh no, Kyle,
I do
that's
know about
my
Maiden.
vote right there. It's the Maiden.
About to say.
Hands down, best waifu.
I'm gonna go.
You can choose the doll too.
I'm gonna choose the doll.
Oh, that's a
I'm gonna choose the doll.
that's a
up.
tough one.
110% doll waifu.
That's tough. Oh
When you get tired of her,
I'm sticking
put her in
with
the
Demon
closet.
Souls.
I'm not gonna cut that out.
But the one, at least I don't remember any fire shrine person having any personality really.
They're mixed. There's really 2. The ones that the one who is underneath,
Yeah.
in the underneath Firelink Shrine,
Uh-huh.
and then the other one is at the beginning. Well, not at the beginning of Enderlundo, but that big hall. She's actually like donning armor and stuff like that.
I was about to say she's like
in the
leaning
brass
there,
armor.
right?
Yeah, brass armor, like the brass.
But
set,
Nick wants to go for option 3, Quilana.
I take it. Actually, no. You know what? I forgot. Dark Souls 1. There is one more fire shrine keeper. Her sister.
But yeah, Quilana.
Then okay, is it Quilana? Quelaag. I'm thinking Quelaag was the doll.
Quaglegs,
Yeah,
yeah, Koala.
Quilana. I do like.
Is she a firekeeper?
Yeah, if
She
you kill her,
is.
it doesn't work anymore.
Alright.
And she gives you a Firekeeper soul.
Yep. I'm gonna go her because you know what? That was a really sad story.
Oh, it is so sad. If anybody plays Dark Souls going like, oh man, we're gonna have a great time. These characters I meet, we're gonna protect them, they're gonna have fun. No, let me just end that for you.
Once you
right
realize,
now.
once you've learned, you go talk to her, and after you kill the sister, and just because you have her soul, she's like, "Oh, you're my sister," and it's like, "Ugh! I'm sorry."
It's just
so
as you try to stuff the body in like a cup in the corner somewhere.
right? You're just taking a broom, sweeping the huge ass spider body over it, like this
you have
isn't
the
here.
sword you just made out of her soul, and you're like, I just sheath it.
I did
real
use that
quick.
sword. I did the chaos sword or whatever that you like boosted off the humanities and shit. I used that on one run because I was like, ha, 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 ha. And I was like, oh, I feel bad right now. I'm so sorry. God, what was that? There's like some funny video out there where like some guy's like doing the opposite thing of what he should be doing. I am so sorry. He's like just murdering everyone or like shoving shit around. I am so sorry. That's one of the sadder ones. And then spoilers, Dark Souls 3. Spoilers. When you find, or at least it's assumed, to be her body left over.
That is, I took it as it is.
I take it as her body.
Yeah, no, that's her body left
Yeah.
over,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
I know. I was like, because
and you see it across. You can't even get to it yet. Like you see an item and you see her, but you can't get. There's a big fucking hole that you got to find some other way to get around to get
Oh,
into.
I know. Because I had to get it because that was a pyromancy scroll for me. So I had to get it because that's what I played in DS3. And I was like, you gotta be shitting me. I was like, just because I killed her 3 times in the first game to platinum it doesn't mean you gotta make me feel guilty in a fucking third game.
No, I mean, for the Firekeeper in 3, I do like it. Just keep on, like, if you give her the eyes and stuff like that, it's just that's what's interesting. I like the story in that. Like, you give her
They do make that interesting.
the
I
other
agree.
Firekeeper's eyes, and she's just like, I'm with you 100%. Like, just whatever you want to do. If you want to usurp that fire, you usurp that fire. Let's go, me
Right.
and you.
No, I thought it was kind of cool how they made it so integral. Making the second Firekeeper fuck that bitch because she did not want to read me certain stories that I wanted her to read me.
You have to give
because
it to
they're
the
naughty.
Pyromancer.
Well, not the Pyromancer, the whatever. She's
No,
like,
you have to give the books, the ones that she won't read. You have to give it to the witch who's a
yeah,
pyromancer. She's like, why aren't you giving me any pyromancy books? Why are you giving me these stupid divine tomes?
yep. Yeah, the forbidden magic type stuff. She's like, I guess I'll read it for you. Yeah. Okay, I platinum that shit because it was such a fucking great fucking game.
All
Well, no, I
right.
didn't platinum that shit. I just played a lot of different shit. I'm getting shit mixed up.
Well, let's end this up. Anything that we've all played mostly. We've been talking about From Software's Souls games, which are definitely our favorites. But have anybody played any of the other Souls-like games or anything like that?
From FromSoft?
No, not from
Are you asking
Soft.
me or
Everyone,
everyone else?
any of us.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
I did.
Have you?
Oh,
Go ahead.
yeah. Let's see here. Well, first of all, the best 2D one I've ever come across is Salt and Sanctuary. I think it does a very good job of it. Played a little bit of Mortal Shell. It's pretty good. There's one called Dark Mouse that I haven't gotten very far in, but it's a top-down Souls-like where you're a mouse and you fight other mice things. And I'm not actually going to list too many other. There's another one would be Lords of the Fallen, but again, it doesn't follow it's combat wise.
That's the one.
It's
that's the one that
same.
I've tried out. I did try out Lords of the Fallen.
You did? How far did you get? I didn't get very far.
To the second boss or so. I actually think it follows. I'll take away from you. I actually think it follows the formula of Dark Souls a little more. It's a little more where Dark Souls is like kind of dodging out of the way and doing this. It's more tanky, I guess, to say. You're just kind of this brooding force, and you can take hits and stuff like that.
Sword and board in it. Yep.
Not even sword and board in it. You're just like this, just bulky, like meat shield. You know.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you just
Not
kind
what I
of
was expecting.
Yeah, you kind of like try to take hits in that one, at least from what I remember. Like, well, you could take hits, but that one does. I was tried that one. I'm looking through stuff now. I think that's really the only.
Nope, we played one more, but it's a different type of Souls-like, but it is considered a Souls-like.
Are you looking at Remnant from the Ashes?
That is one that we all played. Yep.
See, that's again. I
don't know if I would.
Can't quite call it Soul.
I think it's because we co-opted, but it's also because it's FPS and all that shit.
Help.
But apparently co-oping is better. But if you played it like solo, apparently it's tough as fucking balls. But a lot of people consider it like an FPS Souls-like. I think you guys, I played a little bit of it. Was Blasphemous.
I just started.
Oh yeah. That one.
That one's more Metroidvania for me. But...
Yes, and I do like to make that distinction because Hollow Knight gets. Oh, people go. Oh, Hollow Knight's a Souls game. It's Metroidvania.
The difficulty. That's what they like to go with.
I think people I can't think of the term. Conflate, maybe, where you're combining two things in one. They conflate difficulty with being a Souls game, and it's not.
It kind of has, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd figure that Metrovania and Souls like games cross a very similar line to what they are and which one's which.
It's I think it's gonna be certain people consider what they want, like boss souls, like and all that. It's gonna be tight roped. Did
Oh,
any of you guys
Nio would
play?
be
I
another one.
was about to say Nio, because
Yeah.
that was considered a big one.
One I do want to try that I don't think any of us have. That's been on my list. Code Vein. I do want to try that one out.
I own it. I haven't played it.
Haven't played it.
I think something all of us played that
We've
some
all
people
played
consider.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. We
Yes.
just
Yeah.
talked about that.
Yep.
So
Did you beat that?
I did beat that. Yeah.
I thought it was a
I
really good
have
game.
not
I can't wait
beaten
till the
that.
second one. It was such a good game.
I do want to see. I was actually disappointed with the new Star Wars show. One of the big ones was one of the things for the end of the Mandalorian. I won't even say who it is if we're going to do spoilers or not. But one of the big like who was going to show up was Cal. They thought Cal was going to show up, and I was like, that would actually be fucking awesome. I would enjoy that.
If he showed up in the Mandalorian,
The end, the end of the
oh, I would have loved it.
end of the season. I thought that would have been awesome. I was like, you know
Because
what? That makes fucking sense.
that actor is really good. Because I watched him in Gotham, and he was the Joker in Gotham. He was phenomenal, phenomenal. He played 3 different Jokers. It was crazy. He was. I think he's a fantastic actor.
Like he was like I think one of the top of the list to be in there. But yes, that was.
If that happened, dude, Mandalorian will become top tier show. And then if they gave him his own spinoff,
I mean, I'm guessing we're waiting. They're holding.
We're getting a
it
second
out for
Fallen
the
Order.
game. We are
for sure.
definitely.
It was so good.
But yeah, so that would have been awesome. Like I said, I think they're keeping them for the game. I don't know. They want to distinct between the games and the shows and the stuff like that. But if he did show up, and I thought that would have been awesome. That would have been like that. I almost liked it. I almost would have liked that more than what did happen. You know.
Yes. But still, oh my god, become the best show of all time because I really enjoy that actor, Cameron Monaghan, I think his name is. Because story wise, I thought the game was phenomenal, and honestly, a completely different topic. We may talk about some other time. I think it's one of the best representations of Darth Vader fucking ever because
well, that and the movie that you don't like, which we will go into another one. I think that's a good place to end.
Yes.
Before we
start
start
I
talking
have
into
one
this.
other thing to say.
All right, finish your fault.
Just to guilt you into something. Whose fault is it we haven't killed Bloodborne?
I don't care. Dungeons
And
suck.
who needs to get through the last dungeon?
As I said, dungeons suck. Now it's a cool mechanism. I just feel like they're very samey, so I get kind of bored.
Yeah. No. Fair.
So Nick can't get closure on story because of you. That's all I'm saying.
We're good, and we did
So
this.
close. So close.
Clap. Anyway, all right, guys. If you guys like hearing us out, you guys want to leave us any kind of suggestions or anything like that, any kind of feedback, anything, you guys can check us out on our YouTube channel, where this kind of stuff will be posted. The podcasts will be other places, but I'll try to put them up on there as well. That's at just 3 Geek Opinion at YouTube. And then, like I said, one of the games I didn't mention here, which I did mention last time, was Ender Lilies. I think I may stream that. I'm not sure about doing that. Oh, that was actually another thing. I have to talk to these guys. I don't know if we will plan on streaming Elder Ring or not. But that might be a thing. So we'll talk to these guys here. I haven't talked to them about it yet. But anyway, so check us out there. That's at 3 Geeks Opinion on Twitch. Leave us out. Figure out anything if you guys have any questions, feedback, suggestions, anything you would like to give us a shout out to. Check us out next time. Guys, I'm out.
Deuces.
Bye, everybody.